I'm also getting better from being sick, so excuse my hoarseness. And I'm not really a fan of talking in front of people, honestly. Well, I was raised in a Christian home. God had a call in my life from the time I was a child, to be in ministry and to go to the nations and preach the gospel. Not necessarily as a pastor, but to, be an evangelist for him. And even though I knew that, I still ran from him. My parents ended up getting divorced when I was 15, and that set me off in a spiral, and I started drinking and, rebelling like any teenager. And then I got into a car accident when I was 21, and that changed my life because they told me that I wouldn't be able to walk again. And I believed them for some reason, and I started to even get worse. Like, they prescribed all the pain medication under the sun, and I thought since the doctor gave it to me, it was okay. But it wasn't, because it was just too much. And I finally realized that the medication wasn't what I needed. And I went into Teen Challenge in 2002. And I completed phase 1 of that program, and I got out and I did pretty well. I went to college, I got a degree in computers, and got a great job and was doing okay. And then, I don't even know what happened. It was almost like I just didn't have anything to do. I got bored, so to speak, and I didn't really have anybody to support me. My parents moved out of state, so I started to drink. I started to abuse my prescription pills again, and at this point, I became homeless. I was kidnapped and held hostage for 3 weeks. I lost my car, got stolen by crackheads. I did, just like Darla said, I did things that I would never, ever, never imagine myself doing. And it was horrifying. And I thought, this is it, I'm done, just let me die.
Yeah.
But my mom had found a program for me up in Michigan. So I went to that program because I figured, I'm from Wisconsin, so I figured I'd move from Wisconsin to Michigan and totally remove myself from Wisconsin, and that would help. And it did. It did. I completed that program, I did really well. And I got a job in 2015. It worked, everything was great. And then I don't even know what happened again. It was just like, I had no support other than my mom. And the church I went to, the pastor left, so I ended up leaving the church, and I just really wasn't connected to anybody other than, my mom. And sure, I read my Bible and I prayed all the time. I just begged him to help me, but it was just horrible. I started using heroin.
It's okay. No guilt. Jesus. Okay.
You would think the first time I would have gotten it. But this time I went back and it was even worse. I ended up using needles, which I said I would never do. It was the most horrifying things that I've ever seen in my life. And I lost everything, literally everything, because of heroin and my addiction and running away from the people that I knew loved me. But I started going to church again, and my mom had brought up a group that was in my church, and she said, I think you really like them, and whatever. forever. You know, it took years. It took years before I even gave anybody a chance to get into my life. And it was, honestly, it was the support and the love of Jennifer that helped me actually be able to do this. By the
Amen.
grace of God. He brought her into my life just at that moment just to help save me, because I would have died. I guarantee it. So, I have been sober for 1.5 years now.
Amen.
And I'm just so grateful. I actually have friends. I have a great church.
Yes.
You know, and I have a relationship with my family again. It's just, God has brought me through so much. And He still loves me.
Amen.
Yes. Glory to
So
God.
I'm just really grateful for that.
Amen.
Amen.